Hey there everybody, Brian here from Fitzpatrick's. In this video I want to show you this car here. This is a four-wheel drive Santa Fe and this is what's called an Executive Plus model. This video is going to be useful for somebody that wants to learn more about this particular spec of car, or if you're in Ireland and you are looking for a car like this, then obviously this will show you what this particular one's all about before you come to try it. It's a really horrible day, so I'm going to start off by just having a quick look around the dash and then we'll go for a quick drive. Afterwards then what we'll do is have a look at more of the features on the inside of the car and also the outside as well. So what's nice in this one is it actually has that beige interior. Beige interiors, in my opinion, always lift the inside of the car. Some of the controls that are in the car, looking down on the right hand side, electric through windows and mirrors, central locking in through here. Mirrors are electric folding, in other words I can fold them in and out using the button, or we'll see when we get outside I can also do it from the key as well. Over through here, these controls, hill descent control, if you're, and especially in a four-wheel drive car like this, if you are going down a hill and it's fairly bad condition, sometimes actually when you hit the brakes, the ABS, it might not be able to help you because it's such a slippery surface. The hill descent control is going to, it's like a speed limiter almost going down, but you're not relying on the brakes to actually slow down the car, so the gearbox is trying to slow the car down. Because believe it or not, there is actually times where it's such treacherous conditions that the brakes may not be as useful. Diff Lock, which means it's going to lock up the rear and front differentials, and the idea of that is basically if you're going off-roading you might have one wheel off the ground, which means you need, what it's doing is it's making sure every wheel is turning the same. So if you have a wheel that lifts off the ground, you're still getting an equal amount of power on the other one as well. So again, more off-roady kind of stuff. Because these cars, I suppose, one of the things, a lot of people buy these cars, they like the look of them, but actually they are a good off-road vehicle, and especially for towing. There is a functionality here, so we can change things like the steering wheel feedback, comfort, normal, sport, which basically gives heavier or lighter steering feedback depending what your preference is. Cruise control is in through here. Bluetooth is over through here, and then down here there is voice activated Bluetooth.
Please say a command.
And you can use that then for changing radio stations, for example.
Please say a command.
FM 104.
FM 1.
Etc, etc. And actually, do you know what? One thing, right? This radio is a straightforward radio. It has a reverse camera. The screen is a small touch screen. And we do live in a world of big flat screens and cars. You get into a car, whatever car it is, there's a massive screen. They are so distracting. I am gone to a point in my life where I'm all about convenience. I press a button, the radio comes on. I press another button, I can use a USB for playing music. I press another button, I use Bluetooth. I don't have to go through screen and screen and screen. Maybe I'm getting old, but this is way handier. Down over here then, just things like average speed and fuel efficiency and all that kind of information. And through here, there is dual zone climate control. So different temperature for the driver, different temperature even for the passenger, and a nice easy to use display. And a big knob that you just turn instead of having to go through menus. Auxiliary down through there, 12 volt outlet and 12 volt outlet. And this car is super spotless. Super clean. So yes, it's not the cheapest one around, and the reason for that is we had to give good money for it because it is definitely one of the best ones around in 2015, bar none. There's 58,000 kilometers, full service history, one owner, but really well looked after. In terms of driving these cars, so lots of people are probably familiar with things like Tucson and Sportage and Qashqai. These feel a lot bigger on the road. There's really a lot of power. These actually have 197 horsepower and they have the capability of towing 2.5 tons. But when you're driving the car, it does feel taller and it feels just a little bit more significant than a lot of the other SUVs that are out there. One thing that really occurs to me on a car like this, the running costs aren't bad. So a car like this will average somewhere in the region of 7 to 8 litres per 100 kilometres, which is probably, 35 to 40 miles per gallon. But if you go to find something else that's got a big towing ability, you're into big Land Cruisers, X5s, big Volvos, these are a much easier car to run. Servicing every 30,000 kilometres, not a hard vehicle on fuel, and the servicing costs or in running costs for things like breakdowns, not bad at all compared to some of those much larger vehicles. And even things like road tax is sensible on these types of cars also. Because this one's so well looked after, it drives really well in all aspects. So in my opinion, these are a really good driving vehicle. It's a really enjoyable vehicle to drive, as you can see, with a nice elevated driving position and a really powerful engine. Anyway, in terms of the outside of the vehicle, and just to remind actually anyone on this video, we haven't even started cleaning this car yet. Nice things in through here. I really like these big long parking lights. They're really bright at night time, and the headlights are quite big and effective. And then down low, you also have front fog lights down through here. There's daytime running lights here, and these are cornering lights. So when you turn left or right, they actually light up as well, just to light the area that you're turning into if you're going into a dark junction. There's one message I want to get through to you on this car. It's just been so well looked after. Really nice mileage, 58,000 kilometers. But the previous owner did such a nice job looking after the car on the outside. Other features on the outside I like, there's nice chrome around the windows, and the door handles also have some nice chrome as well, just to finish off the car. And then there's roof rails up high if you want to put roof bars and allow a roof box to sit on top of the car if you're going on holidays. One thing that people used to love in Santa Fe and still do, it's got a really big, mean, imposing front end. Very, very cool. You have those nice chrome slats along the grille, and then there's nice brushed aluminium along the bottom of the bumper just to break up the black. But there's just a big, tough looking vehicle, and I think that's what a lot of people used to like about them. Black is a really nice colour, and then this one has dark privacy glass in the rear as well. That kind of big, tough looking theme continues around to the rear. I remember when these came out first in 2012, the first time I saw one pulling out in front of me. I really liked the exhaust that's over here on the rear. I like those tips. I like the brushed aluminium that's down along the bottom of the bumper. But it's just a big kind of almost American looking, big tough shape on the vehicle. It's just like the model that went before in 06, 07. That was actually a really good looking vehicle, but this just moved it to a different level. People love the look of these, and I can see why. It's just a really nice shape. Anyway, in terms of the inside, and actually one other thing about the outside of this car, it's super tidy, super tidy. I'm sure, look, it's a black car. I'm sure there's a couple of small little marks here and there, but to be fair, I can't see them. It's really well looked after, and I haven't even cleaned it. This is exactly how the car was traded in, but wait till you see the inside. Like, even one point to note, there's no tow bar on this car. Actually, one thing that is a point to note, they do have a spare wheel up through here, which is rare in a lot of cars. It doesn't have a tow bar. Just to give you an idea, it's hard to find a Santa Fe 4-wheel drive that hasn't been doing some towing in its life, but this one has never towed. Not to say there's anything wrong with a car that's towed, it's just nice to see one that hasn't, because it means it's had a pretty easy life. Okay, check out this. This is the boot area, which is obviously rubbish when the rear seats are up, but when they're down you get this massive load area. But again, just look at the condition of the rears, and again, as I was saying to you, we haven't cleaned the car yet. So it's really super tidy. Down through there is actually just your jack and wheel brace and that kind of stuff. For people sitting in the back, there will be some drinks holders over through here, and then application of the seats is pretty straightforward. And then there is headrests in the rear as well. But check this out, right? They are super spotless, those seats, okay? I'm going to have a better angle in a sec. Like, even the safety belts, the plastic is still on the safety belts from day one, i.e. they've never been used, which is kind of nice to see, because I like seeing things like plastics on cars, because it just kind of goes to show how little use they've had. Those seats are super tight. They're just perfect. They're actually literally as brand new. Okay, the middle row of seats, again the same thing, and let me focus on the plastic that's never been taken off the centre armrest, the drinks holder that's probably literally never been opened before. The person that owned it, the two front seats would have got used, and the rear seats almost never. These are, I mean, like, this is beige leather, so like it's a unforgiving colour. You would know if there's wear on it. There's literally nothing. To access the back, I'm going to go from the passenger side. By the way, these seats are on a rail, so I can lift the rail, which basically means I can move either seat in the rear. And the reason I would do that is then if I wanted to give more leg room in here for those rear passengers. There is some terrible camera work going on here at the moment, I do apologise. So the reason you do that is you mix and match. If you've got like 4 child seats, and you've got 5 kids in the back of the car, it's going to be tall and short, so you'll move maybe this middle row half forward and leave the other one back, leave more space. You know, you kind of combine and configure as to what your needs are. Small simple things. Again, look at the rear of these. Like on a 2015 Santa Fe, I don't think there's any in the country that don't have this plastic scratched up, but this one doesn't. Ventilation over here, ventilation over through there, and then there is that kind of dual tone leather finish on the door card with some brushed aluminium down along here, and even nice details along here, like little Santa Fe etched into the leather. This is just super perfect. Electrics for windows, which are child lockable. The rear door is child lockable too. To get in and out of the back, it's not glamorous, because there is no, oh my god, there is no 7-seater car that's nice for getting in and out. So to sit behind, to give you an idea, right, you know, as an adult, I'm going to have absolutely no space. It's not for adults, it's for young kids. Right, obviously I can move those seats in front of me. They can be moved forward on a rail to give me more room. And I have sat in the back of one of these as an adult, but it's not ideal. It's really for kids up to 8, 9, 10 years of age. But just to show you, that's how it works. And then for getting back out, it's the same thing again. Moving into the front of the car, let me just reiterate again, the driver's seat, which is the seat that would have been used the most. Along here even normally you'd see some discolouring and stuff like that on a 2015 Santa Fe. There's nothing. It's super. I hate kind of going on about kind of condition, because someone comes to look at the car and they go, oh, there's a stone chip or there's something. But to be fair, for me as a 2015 Santa Fe, I think this has to be one of the best condition ones on the market at the moment. The mileage, like you would have seen when you were driving the car, 58,000 kilometers, and the car has a full service history from the garage. There's so many reasons that people will buy a car like this. Someone's going to buy it because it's 7 seats. Someone's going to buy it because they like the look of it. Somebody's going to buy it because they want to go towing. Somebody just wants a really nicely well looked after, one owner, genuine Jeep. There's a load of reasons. Anyway, if you have a trade-in or anything like that, give me a shout. 086 843 1945. Brian is my name. Fitzpatrick's. We're a Hyundai garage. in Kildare, family-run business in operation for almost 70 years. And do finance, we can do trade-ins, we can do... Obviously, we're going to put a warranty on the car, it's going to come serviced. There's an NCT on the car until the 5th month of 2023. Okay, so if you want to know more about the car, call, text, WhatsApp, whatever suits. Or if you're just on YouTube and you're watching the video and you want to know more about this car while it's in stock or one of these kind of cars, let me know in the comment section and I'll do my best to address whatever question you have. Anyway, hopefully the video is useful, hopefully the car is of interest, hopefully you can see why I'm enthusiastic about the condition and how it's been looked after. Thanks a million for watching.